There are stories buried in history, so dark we labeled them as myths. Tales of a horned beast summoned by ancient rituals, a cult that vanished without a trace, leaving only bones behind, and a silent satellite that may have circled Earth before humans ever did. We say they're legends. We say they're not real. But what if we're wrong? These are the 8 terrifying historical myths that might be true, and the deeper we go, the darker it gets. Let's start things off. At number 8, did a group of British elites really worship Satan in the 1700s? Welcome to the chilling world of the Hellfire Club, a secret society so twisted some believe they made deals with the devil himself. Founded by Sir Francis Dashwood, this group wasn't your average gentleman's club. Oh no, they met in abandoned abbeys, wore bizarre costumes, drank to excess, and held rituals so wild locals whispered of black magic. Members, judges, politicians, even future prime ministers. Their motto, do what thou wilt. Sound familiar? That phrase would later be adopted by Aleister Crowley, known as the wickedest man in the world. Inside the Hellfire Caves, an actual underground tunnel system built just for their gatherings, there were rumors of mock sacrifices, nude rituals, and maybe even real satanic rites. Some say screams were heard echoing through the tunnels at night, and not all of them sounded like laughter. But here's the kicker. No one ever proved what truly happened down there. Was it a dark joke among rich men, or a real flirtation with the devil? Today, tourists visit those same caves, but locals warn, don't stay after dark, because if the stories are true, the Hellfire Club might still be waiting for their next meeting. Myth or terrifying truth? Coming up next at number 7, what if I told you that for over 3 decades, a prisoner was held in absolute secrecy, his identity hidden behind a locked iron mask, and no one ever saw his face? Sounds like a movie, right? Well, it's not just Hollywood. This is the real legend of the man in the iron mask, a terrifying historical mystery straight out of 17th century France. Kept in the most secure prisons, under orders to kill anyone who spoke his name or saw his face, this man wasn't just a criminal, he was a threat to the entire monarchy. Some say he was the twin brother of King Louis XIV, hidden away to prevent a battle for the throne. Others think he knew royal secrets that could topple the empire. The craziest part? This wasn't just a rumor. He existed. He died in 1703 and was buried under a fake name. Even Voltaire, yes, the Voltaire, believed he was the king's brother. But why the mask and why iron? Some say it was velvet, others claim solid steel. Whatever it was meant to erase him from history forever. And yet, centuries later, we're still talking about him. Was he a forgotten royal, a political scapegoat, or just a ghost of power's darkest secrets? One thing's for sure, when kings wear crowns, others are forced to wear masks. Next up at number 6, imagine walking alone at night in a quiet Jersey neighborhood in the 1960s, and suddenly, bam, a tall, shadowy figure in a terrifying rubber mask leaps from the darkness. That wasn't just a nightmare. That was the demon of Jersey, a real-life boogeyman who terrorized the island for over a decade. They said he wore a long, old trench coat, thick-soled boots, and that horrifying mask, like a twisted scarecrow with stitched features. He'd creep through windows, stalk back roads, and vanish before anyone could catch him. People thought it was some supernatural creature. The press gave him the name, the Demon of Jersey. But here's the terrifying truth. It wasn't a demon at all. It was a real man, a school headmaster named Edward Peisnell, respected by day, absolute monster by night. He performed bizarre rituals, kept a torture room, and wore that demon mask while abducting victims. He even had iron nails hammered through his coat to avoid being grabbed. Even after his arrest in 1971, people still whisper that the real Demon of Jersey was never caught. Was Peisnell just a copycat, or was there something darker lurking in those woods? Next time you're walking home at night, just hope he isn't watching, because myths may fade, but demons linger. Up next, at number 5, imagine this. It's the 12th century. A quiet little English village named Woolpit is going about its medieval business, when suddenly 2 children appear out of nowhere, a boy and a girl. But here's the twist. They have green skin. Yeah, green. The villagers are stunned. The children speak a strange, unknown language, wear bizarre clothes, and seem absolutely terrified. They refuse all food until someone offers them raw beans. That's when they finally eat. Spooky, right? The boy dies shortly after, but the girl survives. Over time, she learns English, and that's when the story gets even stranger. She says they came from a dark underground land called St. Martin's Land, where everything is in twilight and the sun never shines. She claims they were herding their father's cattle, and suddenly they woke up in Woolpit. People have debated this tale for centuries. Was it just a misunderstood illness like chlorosis, a folktale, or were they, brace yourself, extraterrestrials? Some historians argue this could be the earliest alien encounter in recorded history. Others think it's a distorted memory of war refugees or even interdimensional travelers. No one knows for sure. But one thing is clear. 2 green children walked into Woolpit and left behind one of history's creepiest unsolved mysteries. So what do you think? Were they lost kids or something not of this world? Halfway there at number 4. What if I told you there's a creature so horrifying, so twisted, that it doesn't just hunt people, it possesses them? Welcome to the legend of the Wendigo, a terrifying myth from the cold, haunted forests of the north that might actually be real. Originating from Algonquian Native American American lore. The Wendigo is said to be a towering, emaciated monster with glowing eyes, rotting flesh, antlers like a demon deer, and a voice that mimics human cries for help. But this isn't just a monster hiding in the woods, it's a spirit of hunger, a supernatural parasite that infects the soul of anyone who gives in to cannibalism in the frozen wild. During brutal winters, isolated trappers and settlers would vanish, or worse, turn on each other. Some blamed madness. Others swore they saw something watching from the tree line. The Wendigo wasn't just folklore, it was feared. There were even real-life trials in the 1800s where people were executed for being Wendigos. In 1878, Cree trapper Swift Runner killed and ate his entire family, even though he was near a trading post with food. When questioned, he claimed he was possessed by a Wendigo spirit. And the most chilling part, locals believed him. Some psychologists now believe the Wendigo legend could describe a real disorder, Wendigo psychosis, a state of insatiable hunger for human flesh. But others, they think something else still lurks in the forests of Canada and the Great Lakes. Something ancient, cold, and always hungry. So next time you hear a voice crying for help in the woods, don't answer. It might not be a person at all. It might be the Wendigo. Next up at number 3. What if I told you ancient civilizations, thousands of miles and centuries apart, all describe the same terrifying visitors from the sky? Not gods, not spirits, but beings. Mysterious sky people who descended from above with glowing chariots, thunderous roars, and powers no human could explain. And here's the freakiest part. What if they were real? The Sumerians, the first civilization, spoke of the Anunnaki, sky beings who descended from the heavens and taught them agriculture, writing, even kingship. The Maya, they told stories of sky serpents and gods who came from the stars, offering wisdom and demanding blood. In ancient Egypt, the pharaohs claimed they were descendants of sky gods. And let's not forget the Dogon tribe in Africa, who somehow knew about the Sirius B star before modern telescopes. Coincidence or contact? Ancient Indian texts like the Mahabharata describe flying machines called vimanas, involved in sky battles with blazing weapons. Some of these descriptions sound eerily like lasers and nuclear blasts, long before the tech existed. And in Peru, the Nazca lines, massive drawings only visible from the sky, seem designed to attract or communicate with something above. But the real kicker? Many of these cultures said the sky people would return one day. Skeptics say it's all metaphor. But if these were just myths, why do they all share the same pattern? Why do unconnected civilizations describe nearly identical visitors with advanced knowledge from the sky? Some researchers believe this is ancient memory, distorted over time. Others think these beings never left. Terrifying? Absolutely. Impossible? Maybe not. So the next time you look up at the stars, ask yourself, were the sky people just a story, or were they a forgotten chapter of our true past? Coming up next at number 2. Did you know that one of the most terrifying stories from history might actually be true? It's called the Children's Crusade, a mysterious, heartbreaking, and chilling legend that's been lost and forgotten over time. Picture this. It's the year 1212. Europe is buzzing with talk of holy wars and crusades to reclaim Jerusalem. But this time, it's not kings or knights preparing for battle. Instead, thousands of children, some as young as 10 years old, set out on a mission to free the Holy Land. Sounds wild, right? The story goes that a French boy named Stephen and a German boy named Nicholas both claimed they had visions from God telling them to lead a peaceful crusade. Soon, tens of thousands of kids joined in, leaving their homes, families, and everything behind. No weapons, no armies, just faith and hope. They marched towards the Mediterranean, dreaming of miracles. But what happened next is where the myth turns dark. Many children vanished. Some say they drowned, trying to cross the sea. Others claim they were sold into slavery or trapped by cruel merchants. And shockingly, there's almost no official record of their fate, only scattered stories, whispers of tragedy, and unanswered questions. So was this mass movement just a legend? Or did thousands of innocent children really embark on a doomed crusade, disappearing into the shadows of history? The terrifying truth might be hidden beneath layers of myth and time. And that's what makes the Children's Crusade one of the most haunting and mysterious stories ever told. Could this heartbreaking event actually be real? At last but not least, have you ever heard about the mysterious Black Knight satellite, a strange object orbiting Earth that some say isn't just space junk, but an ancient alien artifact? It's one of those eerie myths that sounds like sci-fi, but what if it's actually true? Let's dive into the spooky story behind the Black Knight satellite. The legend starts back in the 1950s, during the dawn of the space age. Radar operators reportedly picked up an unknown object in a polar orbit, something that wasn't from any country's satellite program. NASA has never officially confirmed it, but conspiracy theorists claim this satellite has been orbiting Earth for over 13,000 years. How could that be possible? Some say it's not human-made, but sent by extraterrestrials to watch us, like a cosmic spy. Imagine a mysterious alien probe silently circling above us, observing humanity's every move for centuries. Over the years, strange photos from space missions showed what looked like a dark, irregular-shaped object floating in orbit. Woolpit. Skeptics argue it's just space debris or a thermal blanket lost during a mission, but believers say those images are proof of the Black Knight's existence. The myth got even creepier in 1998 when astronauts aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour spotted a shadowy figure nearby. Some say it was the Black Knight itself lurking close by, maybe even watching their every step. What if it's real? What if there's an ancient alien satellite silently monitoring Earth, a terrifying reminder that we're not alone in the universe? Or maybe it's just an elaborate myth that keeps sparking imaginations worldwide. Either way, the Black Knight satellite remains one of the most chilling space mysteries, blending science, history, and conspiracy into a story that still sends shivers down our spines. So, what do you think? Is the Black Knight just a myth,